எடுக்குது. அட்மிட்
administration of both in the bar. Administration of both in the administration of both in the
upload function. இல்லையா?
I request all to rise. Our Honorable Judge and other dignitaries are arriving. Good evening to all. We will start this function with Tamil Thai Valthu. I request all to rise.
நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிது தெக்கனமும் அது சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Now I request our chairman, Mr. P.S. Amalraj, to welcome the gatherings. Please, sir.
எல்லாம் நிற்கிறாங்களே, இது எதுக்கு எல்லாம் நிற்கிறாங்களா? பட் ஜட்ஜி சொல்கிறாங்களே, சேர்ஸ் இல்லையா? வேதுரா அங்கே சேர்ஸ் இது சேர்ஸ் என்ன போடல? சேர்ஸ் ஏன் போடலாங்க? இல்லைடா, சேர்ஸ் அவங்களுக்கு போடுறேன் போட சேர் இல்லையா? இல்லையா சேர் இல்லை? சேர் இல்லை, சேர் இல்லையா உங்களுக்கு? சேர் 250 தான் சொன்னோம். சொல்லியிருக்கலாம்ல. சரி, இந்த இதுக்கு எடுத்து இதில் எடுத்துக்க. டைம் ஆகுங்களா? டைம் ஆகும். My Lord, Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Smith, Judge Madras High Court, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, Mr. V. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. R. Vidudalai, Senior Advocate, Member, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. K. Balu, Chairman, the Enrollment Committee, Mrs. J. Brisila Pandian, Mr. D. Saravanan, Members Enrollment Committee, Mr. Thalai Muttarasu, Member Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mrs. Nalini, Advocate, Madras High Court, Mrs. Ambika, Mrs. Vijayalakshmi, Advocate, Madras High Court, members of legal fraternity, present media, all new entrants and their family members, good evening to all. As the Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, it is my great pleasure to welcome one and all of this triple function. I feel pride to welcome the Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant, Judge of the prestigious Chartered High Court, who has given consent, join with us. The Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant, after completing law course in Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College at Chennai, and got enrolled in the rolls of the Bar Council on 13th day of October 1993. The Honorable Judge did Master in Law in Constitution and Public International Law, and also completed PhD in International Taxation, Electronic Commerce, and practiced before the Honorable Supreme Court, Honorable High Court and various tribunals. The Honorable Judge is specialized in taxation laws and served as a special government pleader taxes, and elevated as Judge of this Chartered High Court on 5th day of October 2016. The Honorable Judge delivers impartial judgment with surgical legal precision, which in turn impacts the members of our bar with the exceptional judicial wisdom. It is very apt and pleasant to celebrate this triple function in the gracious presence of the Honorable Judge, since the Honorable Judge is not only intellectual, but also very bold and kind enough to the legal fraternity and motherly towards the judiciary. The Honorable Judge has passed several orders enriching and ensuring women's rights. The Honorable Judge, while passing an order in a direction petition, has directed the state government to frame appropriate guidelines to strict compliance of the rule prohibiting the arrest of women after sunset and before sunrise. I wholeheartedly welcome Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant for this August function, and on behalf of the entire legal fraternity, I wish the Honorable Judge in this International Day of Women Judges to reach the topmost level in the higher judiciary. Welcome, Judge.
For this August function, and on behalf of the entire legal fraternity, I wish the
In the year of 2021, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the 10th day of March as International Day of Women Judges to promote gender equality in the judiciary. The International Day of Women Judges marks incredible progress of the women in the judiciary. The representation of the women judges has brought sense of equity in the justice delivery system. It is time immemorable to say that when the line was demarcated, which set back women from men. However, now we are seeing drastic changes in this modern era, wherein women have stepped in all fields which ensure stability, progress, and long-term development of nations. At this moment, we should remember and praise adventurous women judges who have turned the minds of the society that women could set their goals at any level. Honorable Dame Roslyn Higgins, the first woman judge in the International Court of Justice. Honorable Anna Chandy, the first woman judge in the Indian judiciary. Honorable Fatima Bibi, the first woman judge of the Supreme Court of India. Honorable Batmani Jesudurai, the first woman judge of the Madras High Court. They paved way for the entire women advocates to flourish their intelligence in the judiciary and decreases gender gap. The present strength of the women judges in the Honorable Supreme Court is 2. Honorable High Court of Madras is 14, comparatively higher than the other high courts. However, this needs to be increased in future. At present, the ratio of women judges in the district judiciary has been moderately augmented. The Honorable Supreme Court of India State of the Judiciary report shows that 36.3% of women throughout the country are in the district judiciary. However, in 14 states, 50% of women are in the district judiciary. In the recently held civil judge examination in the state of Tamil Nadu, the more than 50% vacancies have been filled up by the women judges. We are also glad to celebrate International Women Day, appreciating and respecting the multifaceted role being played by each and every woman in the society. In this joyful occasion, we must thank Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is instrumental for implementing several acts for safeguarding the rights and liberties of the women particularly. The Hindu Marriage Act 1955, which gave women the right to divorce and maintenance. The Hindu Succession Act 1956, which gave them the legal right to inherit property. The Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956, which allowed women to legally adopt a child. And these reforms led to other acts such as Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, Equal Remuneration Act of 1976, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, Sexual Harassment of Women and the Workplace, the Prevention, Protection and Redressal Act in the year of 2013. The above acts brighten and dark roads of women's struggles. Moreover, the women were allocated with 33% of reservation in Legislative Assembly and 50% reservation in the Tamil Nadu local bodies. In earlier times, it is standard quotation that the women are behind the success of the men. Now, perception changed. The women are not only behind the success of the men, but they are also successful. The Honorable Justice Trivedi, Judge of the Supreme Court of India, while passing an order, has observed that, I quote, women do not need sympathy. They need to be empowered. For that, we need strict implementation of the law. I unquote. We all should strive for the women empowerment. At this juncture, I would like to say that I have seen women as a mother, sister, friend, teacher, professor, colleague, and judges. In the great occasion, from bottom of my heart, I thank them for withstanding a different tasks. All the newly enrolling, particularly women law graduates, are gifted to get enrolled in the presence of the Honorable Judge. The two in the International Day of Women Judges, we are sure that the young entrants would get all success. I also welcome Mr. S. Prabharan, Senior Advocate, Vice Chairman of Bar Council of India. On behalf of all the members of the bar, I would congratulate Mr. S. Prabharan for being elected as a Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India for that time. The same source is prudence and acknowledges his trustworthiness and dedication. He was the President of Madras High Court Advocate Association for 3 times and leading Tamil Nadu Advocate Associations. He had a pride to the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. We are always happy to sail under this captainship. Welcome, sir. I welcome Mr. V. Karthikeyan, the Vice Chairman of Bar Council, and he always concerns about the welfare of the advocates and their family members. I welcome Mr. R. Vidudalai, the senior most advocate, the member Bar Council, who is the senior most member of the bar, former Advocate General, and guiding personality in all the affairs of the State Bar Council. I also welcome Mr. K. Balu, the Chairman, Enrollment Committee, and the Co-Chairman, who is a fight for social justice. I also welcome Mr. D. Saravanan, the Co-Chairman and member of the Enrollment Committee, His efforts in conducting enrollments are enormous. I also welcome Mr. J. Brisilla Pandian, Chairman, Executive Committee and Member Enrollment Committee. In this Women's Day celebration, it is my duty to wish her, since after 3 decades, she has been elected a woman member of the statutory body. Her uprightness and tireless hard work made us to astonish, and she never gave up even though she was made to face several challenges in her career. Her support and cooperation in discharging my duty as a chairman is really appreciable. I also welcome Mr. Nalini, the advocate, the former president of the Human Lawyer Association. I welcome Mrs. V. Ambiga, advocate, and who serves as a co-opt member in the disciplinary committee of the Bar Council for nearly 10 years with full-fledged manner. I also welcome Vijay Lashmi, advocate, who serves as a counsel of the Bar Council. Last but not the least, I also appreciate and wish Grita Sendil Kumar, the first woman secretary in the history of the office of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. I also welcome the staffs of the Bar Council, who are the backbone and their service is unaccountable. I also welcome other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. The Bar Council is a statutory body doing its solemn duty in accordance with the Advocate Act 1961, the Bar Council of India rules. In the Bar Council, 140,000 advocates have been enrolled and nearly 85,000 advocates are actively practicing. It is pertinent to denote that around 33,275 advocates enrolled in the Bar Council are women advocates. For the welfare of the legal fraternity, the Bar Council has introduced several welfare measures, particularly conducting coaching classes for the judicial aspirants. Being the newcomers of the legal profession, learn the duties cast upon the Advocate Act 1961 and the Bar Council of India rules to safeguard the nobility of the profession. Today we are enrolling 1,020 law graduates as advocates, and I hope all of you will work hard with the dedication to flourish in the noble profession by following the guidance to be given by the Honorable Judge and other dignitaries. Once again, I welcome all and wish the law graduates who are enrolling today for victory. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much. By following the guidance by the Honorable.
Thank you, sir, for your warm and great welcoming. Now I request Mrs. Nalini, advocate and former president of the Women Lawyer Association, to move the enrollment. Please, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். The most respected Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant, our young dynamic chairman Mr. P.S. Amalraj, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, Mr. V. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India and Puducherry, Senior Advocate, Mr. R. Vidudalai, Member, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. K. Balu, Chairman, Enrollment Committee, Mrs. J. Priscilla Pandian, the one and only woman chairman, Executive Committee, Member, Enrollment Committee, Mr. D. Saravanan, Co-Chairman, Member, Enrollment Committee, other office bearers and members of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Madam V. Ambiga, Senior Counsel, Mrs. R. Vijayalakshmi, Standing Counsel for Tamil Nadu Bar Council and Puducherry, and Mrs. Grita Sendil Kumar, the first woman secretary. It gives me immense pleasure and it's a great privilege for me to move the enrollment of young law graduates here, who have assembled here, who will now come under the roles of Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. I thank Mr. P.S. Amalraj, Chairman, Vice Chairman of Bar Council of India, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, and Mr. V. Karthikeyan, Chairman, the members, and for giving me this great opportunity to move the enrollment on this momentous occasion, that is International Day of Women Judges and International Women's Day. நீங்கள் அனைவரும் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்ய உறுதுணையாக இருந்த உங்களுடைய ஆசிரியர்களுக்கும் பெற்றோர்களுக்கும் சான்றோர்களுக்கும் சிறப்பினையும் பெருமையும் சேர்க்க எல்லா வல்ல இறைவனை வேண்டி விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Mr. K. Balu, Chairman of the Enrollment Committee, to administer oath. I also request all the enrolling candidates to rise. Thank you, ma'am. I request K. Balu, Chairman of the Enrollment Committee, Minister. I also request all the enrolling candidates to rise.
My Lord, may I move the enrollment, my Lord? My Lord, with the permission of the, may I move. Good evening to all. When I say I, you have to mention your name, then repeat. I do solemnly swear that I shall uphold the Constitution of India and rule of law, that I shall maintain the respect due to courts of justice, judicial officers, and members of my profession, and will at all time conduct myself with dignity, becoming of an officer of the court, that I shall maintain the respect in which I appear, that I shall at all time conduct myself in accordance with the rules of professional conduct and etiquette as prescribed by the Bar Council of India and State Bar Council from time to time, and as reflected in this noble profession, including ethical duties and moral values. Congratulations to all. Please be seated. தம்பி உட்காருங்க. தம்பி ஸ்டாஃப் அங்க போங்க. என்னப்பாச்சு? என்னாச்சு? மற்றவங்களாம் உட்காருங்க. மற்றவங்க அப்படியே வெளியில் எடுத்து போக சொல்லுங்க. வெளில கொண்டு சொல்லுங்க. ஆமாம், திரும்பி ரெக்கவர் ஆகலாம். உட்காருங்க. ரமேஷ், விவேக், வெளியில் அவங்கள கால் பண்ணுங்களா? 108க்கு கால் பண்ணுங்க. 108க்கு கால் பண்ணுங்க. இங்கே யாராவது டாக்டர்ஸ் யாராவது இருக்காங்களா? உங்கள் பேரண்ட்ஸ் யாராவது டாக்டர்ஸ் இருந்தாங்கன்னா கால் பண்ணி கொஞ்சம் செகண்ட் ஃப்ளோர் வர சொல்லுங்கள். இருக்காங்க அங்கே. அனைவருக்கும் இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். தமிழ்நாடு புதுச்சேரி பார் கவுன்சிலில் இன்று வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்திருக்கக்கூடிய உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் தமிழ்நாடு புதுச்சேரி பார் கவுன்சில் சார்பில் எங்களுடைய மனமார்ந்த வாழ்த்துக்களை, பாராட்டுக்களை உங்களுக்கு தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம். வாழ்வில் எல்லா வளமும் நலமும் பெற்று வழக்கறிஞர் தொழிலில் நீங்கள் சிறந்து விளங்க வேண்டுமாய் உங்களை மனதார இந்த நேரத்தில் வாழ்த்தி மகிழ்கின்றோம். மரியாதைக்குரிய நீதியரசர் டாக்டர் அனிதா சுமந்த் அவர்களே, இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் நாம் எல்லாம் வரவேற்றிருக்கக்கூடிய தமிழ்நாடு புதுச்சேரி பார் கவுன்சில் தலைவர், போற்றுதலுக்கு உரிய சகோதரர் PS அமல்ராஜ் அவர்களே, வழக்கறிஞராக முன்மொழிந்திருக்கக்கூடிய பெண் வழக்கறிஞர் சங்கத்தினுடைய மூத்த நிர்வாகி மரியாதைக்குரிய நளினி அவர்களே, இறுதியாக உங்களிடத்தில் சிறப்புரையாற்ற வருகை தந்திருக்கக்கூடிய அகில இந்திய பார் கவுன்சிலுடைய துணைத் தலைவராக பொறுப்பேற்று முதலாக கலந்து கொள்ளக்கூடிய இந்த நிகழ்வில் இடம்பெற்றிருக்கக்கூடிய எங்கள் அன்பிற்கும் பாசத்திற்கும் உரிய கேப்டன் எஸ் பிரபாகரன் அவர்களே, பார் கவுன்சிலுடைய துணைத் தலைவர் அன்பிற்குரிய வி கார்த்திகேயன் அவர்களே, தமிழக அரசினுடைய தலைமை முன்னாள் வழக்கறிஞரும் தமிழ்நாடு புதுச்சேரி பார் கவுன்சிலுடைய இணைத் தலைவருமான மரியாதைக்குரிய விடுதலை அவர்களே, வழக்கறிஞர் பதிவு குழுவினுடைய உறுப்பினர் பிரிசிலா பாண்டியன் அவர்களே, சரவணன் அவர்களே, நிகழ்ச்சியில் பங்கேற்றிருக்கக்கூடிய வழக்கறிஞர்கள் அம்பிகா அவர்களே, விஜயலட்சுமி அவர்களே, செயலாளர் கிரீட்டா செந்தில்குமார் அவர்களே, மற்றும் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் கலந்து கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய ஓகே, ஒன்றும் இல்லை, ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லை, சின்ன ஒரு வலிப்பு, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. உங்கள் அனைவரையும் மீண்டும் நான் வணங்கி மகிழ்கின்றேன். ஒரு நல்ல தினம், சிறப்புக்குரிய தினம். இந்த தினத்தில் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்யக்கூடிய பெரும் வாய்ப்பை பெற்றமைக்காக நான் உள்ளபடியே உங்களை பார்த்து மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகின்றேன். சர்வதேச மகளிர் தினம் நாம் அனைவருமே அறிந்திருப்போம். ஆனால் சர்வதேச நீதிபதிகள் தினம் என்பதை இந்த சர்வதேசம் கடைபிடித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறது என்பதை அறிந்து அந்த தினத்தில் இந்த வழக்கறிஞர் பதிவு நிகழ்ச்சியை மரியாதைக்குரிய அமல்ராஜ் அவர்கள் ஏற்பாடு செய்து நீதியரசர் சிறப்புக்குரியவர் இங்கே நம்ம இடத்தில் வந்து சிறப்புரையாற்ற வருகை தந்திருப்பது உள்ளபடியே மகிழ்ச்சி அளிக்கிறது. சேர்மன் எதை செஞ்சாலும் ஒரு ஸ்பெஷலாக பார்த்து தான் செய்வார். விமன் டே தினத்தில் 8ஆம் தேதி கடந்துருச்சு, ஆனாலும் நீதியரசர் அவளை அழைக்க வேண்டும். அது சர்வதேச பெண்கள் நீதிபதி தினமாக இருந்தால் சிறப்பாக ஏற்றுக்கும் என்று அவரை அழைத்திருக்கிறார். உள்ளபடியே இந்த அரங்கம் மகிழ்ச்சியான நாளில் நாம் இந்த வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்யக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பை பெற்றிருக்கிறீர்கள். நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் பார்க்குறேன், பார் கவுன்சிலுடைய விமன் ஸ்டாஃப் எல்லாரையுமே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வரிசையில் உட்கார வச்சிருக்காரு. பெண்கள் நீதிபதி தினமாக இருந்தால் சிறப்பாக ஏற்றுக்கும். நண்பர்களே, உள்ளபடியே இந்த அரங்கம் சர்வதேச பெண்கள் தினம் என்பதை 2021 நாம் கடைபிடித்து வருகிறோம் என்று சொல்கிறார்கள். ஆனால் பாரதி பாடுகின்ற பொழுது பட்டங்கள் ஆள்வதும் சட்டங்கள் செய்வதும் பாரினில் பெண்கள் நடத்த வந்தோம், வேதம் படைக்கவும் நீதிகள் செய்யவும் வந்தோம் என்று கும்மியடி என்று 100 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்பாகவே பாரதி அவர்கள் இந்த மண்ணிலே பாடியிருக்கிறார். பெண்களுடைய சுதந்திரத்தையும் பெண்களுடைய சிறப்புகளையும் சிறப்பாக பாடியவர் பாரதி அவர்கள். இன்றைக்கு தமிழ்நாடு புதுச்சேரியில் பார் கவுன்சிலில் ஆண்களுக்கு நிகராக வழக்கறிஞராக பெண்கள் பெருமளவில் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். அதில் இன்னும் குறிப்பிடத்தக்க ஒரு சிறப்புக்குரியது என்னவென்றால், சமீபத்தில் தேர்வு செய்யப்பட்ட சிவில் நீதிபதிகள் நியமனத்தில் 50 விழுக்காட்டிற்கு மேல் பெண்கள் நீதிபதியாக தேர்வு செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கிறார்கள். பெருமளவில் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்து கொண்டு அந்த அளவிற்கு நீதித்துறையில் பெண்கள் எல்லா நிலைகளிலும் உயர்ந்திருக்கிறார்கள். இன்றைக்கு உங்களிடத்தில் சிறப்புரையாற்ற, உங்களுக்கு ஆலோசனைகள் சொல்லி பெண்களத்தினுடைய சிறப்பையும் வழக்கறிஞர்களுடைய மகத்துவத்தையும் எடுத்துரைக்க வருகின்றக்கூடிய மரியாதைக்குரிய நீதியரசர் அனிதா சுமந்த் அவர்கள் சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தினுடைய மூத்த நீதிபதி என்பது உங்களுக்கு நன்றாக தெரியும். ஆனால் இவர் இந்திய நாட்டினுடைய உச்ச நீதிமன்றத்தினுடைய தலைமை நீதிபதியாக அமரக்கூடியவர்கள் என்பதை நீங்கள் இந்த நேரத்தில் நினைத்து பார்க்க வேண்டும். சரியாக 10 ஆண்டு, நான் இன்னைக்கு சொல்றேன், நோட் பண்ணீங்க, டைரி இருந்தா எடுத்து வச்சிங்க. 1935 மரியாதைக்குரிய நீதியரசர் அனிதா சுமந்த் அவர்கள் உச்ச நீதிமன்றத்தினுடைய தலைமை நீதிபதியாக இருந்து நீதி பரிபாலனம் செய்வார். இதையெல்லாம் நீங்கள் உங்களுக்கு சொல்வதற்கு காரணம் என்னவென்றால், ஏராளமான வாய்ப்புகள் உங்கள் முன்னால் இருக்கிறது. இப்போ நமது தலைவர் அமல்ராஜ் அவர்கள் பெண்களுடைய சிறப்புகளை எல்லாம் வெகுவாக எடுத்து பேசினார். மேடையிலே பிரபாகரன் இருக்கிறார், சார் விடுதலை சார் இருக்காங்க, நம்ம கார்த்திக் விட்டாக்க 1/2 மணி நேரம் பேசுவார். இவர்களெல்லாம் பெண்கள் சிறப்பை தான் பேசப் போகிறார்கள். உள்ளபடியே இவர்கள் பெண்களுடைய சிறப்பை பேசுவதற்கு வந்திருக்கிறார்களா, அப்படி பேசாமல் சென்று விட்டால் வீட்டில் சாப்பாடு கிடைக்காது அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக வந்திருக்காங்களாங்கிறத அவங்க பேச்சு வச்சு தான் நம்ம முடிவு பண்ணணும். உள்ளபடியே நான் சொல்லுகிறேன், இந்த உலகம் அமைதியாக மகிழ்ச்சியாக எல்லா நிலைகளிலும் ஆனந்தமாக இந்த உலகம் இயங்குகிறது என்று சொன்னால் அதற்கு மிக முக்கியமானவர்கள் பெண்கள் என்பதை நான் இந்த நேரத்தில் தெரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். பெண்கள் இல்லை என்று சொன்னால் இந்த அண்ட சராசரமும் இயங்காது. எனவே அவ்வளவு சிறப்புக்குரியவர்கள், உங்களுக்கு ஏராளமான வாய்ப்புகள் இந்த உலகத்தில் உங்களுக்காக காத்திருக்கிறது. வழக்கறிஞர் தொழில் பல்வேறு சிறப்புகள் கொண்ட தொழில். இந்த வழக்கறிஞர் தொழில் மட்டுமல்லாமல் நீதித்துறையில் அல்லது நீங்கள் தேர்வு செய்யக்கூடிய எந்த துறையாக இருந்தாலும் அதில் மிகச்சிறந்த உயரத்தை சிறப்பை நீங்கள் எல்லாம் அடைய வேண்டுமாய் இந்த நேரத்தில் உங்களை அன்போடு வாழ்த்தி உங்களை எல்லாம் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்யக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பை பெற்றதற்காக தமிழ்நாடு புதுச்சேரி பார் கவுன்சிலுக்கும் இங்கே இருக்கக்கூடிய நிர்வாகிகளுக்கும் எனது மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்து விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. J. Priscilla Pandian, Chairman of the Executive Committee and member of the Enrollment Committee, to felicitate the newly enrolled advocates. Please, ma'am.
அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். Extreme Chief Guest, Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumanth, Judge of the Madras High Court, our beloved Captain Mrs. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman Bar Council of India, Senior Advocate Madras High Court, Chairman P.S. Amalraj, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Senior Advocate, Member of the Tamil Nadu Puducherry, Mr. Vidulai, V. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, K. Balu, Chairman, Enrollment Committee, D. Saravanan, Co-Chairman and Enrollment Committee Member, Senior Advocate, Mrs. Nalini, President, Ex-President of Women Bar Association, Madras High Court, Mrs. V. Ambika, Advocate, Co-opted Member of Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mrs. Advocate Vijikannan, Counsel for Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, and our Secretary, Mrs. Grita Sendil Kumar, extreme guest, dignitaries and fellow members of the legal community, a warm greeting to one and all. As we celebrate this Women's Day and the International Day of Women Judges, it is our great privilege to have Madam Justice Dr. Anita Sumanth with us today as our chief guest. Your honor presence is a testimony to the importance of this occasion, and we are deeply grateful to you for the participation. As a distinguished member of the judiciary, you have consistently demonstrated a deep commitment to upholding the principles of justice, fairness and equity. Your honor tireless efforts to promote the rule of law and protect the rights of all individuals have earned you with a great respect and admiration of the entire legal community. We recognize that the role of judge is not an easy one. It requires great wisdom, courage and integrity. Judges embodies all these quality and more, and we are honored to have the opportunity to express our appreciation to all your services rendered to the society. We recognize that being the enrollment function, fellow young lawyers, as we embark on this noble profession, we are met with both excitement and challenges. The legal landscape is ever evolving, and it's our duty to stay adaptable, informed, and committed to the upholding justice. Remember why you have started the passion for justice, the desire to make a difference, and the drive to advocate for those who need a voice. Hold on to that spark and let it guide you through the triumphs and setbacks. As you navigate the complexities of law, don't be afraid to ask questions. Seek mentorship and learn from other peers. The legal community is rich with knowledge, experience. Tap it out. Stay curious, stay humble, and stay true to your values. The practice of law is not just about winning cases and making arguments. It is about serving others, promoting fairness, and contributing it to the society. Be open to new ideas, perspectives, and experiences. They can help you grow both personally and professionally. The practice of law can be demanding, but it's in those moments of challenges that we discover our greatness, opportunities for growth. Don't be discouraged to setbacks or failures. Instead, learn from them and use them experience to shape your approach moving forward. This is a day. Remember that the law is a powerful tool for creating positive changes. Use it wisely and always stay true to your values. As lawyers, we have a unique opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others. Don't let that responsibility go to waste. Developing resilience is a key to success in legal profession. Learn to bounce back from adversity and stay focused on your goal. Take care of yourself both physically and mentally. A healthy and happy life you are essential to achieving your full potential as a lawyer. To all young lawyers out here, I urge you to be bold, be fearless, and take the challenges. Make our needs to fulfill. Together, let's shape the future of our profession and create a more just, equitable society for all. And special notes to the women lawyers. Be strong and never ever leave this profession. I would always say women are multitask people, which is being created by God. So don't ever give up your profession. Work hard and reach the goal. May you all continue to lead with courage and wisdom, ensuring the justice is not just principles but a lived reality for all. I wish you all new lawyers congratulations on this day and a happy Women's Day, and especially to my Bar Council women staffs also a happy Women's Day to you. Thank you one and all. I wish you new lawyers congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Mr. R. Vidudalai, Senior Advocate and Senior Most Member of our Bar Council, to felicitate the young entrants. Please.
Thank you one and all.
Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant, Mr. P.S. Amalraj, Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, Mr. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. K. Balu, my dear friend and Chairman of the Enrollment Committee, and Puducherry, Mr. Saravanan, Co-Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mrs. Priscilla Pandian, a co-member of the Bar Council, Madam Nalini, who is the former President of the Women Lawyers Association, Mrs. Ambika, a long-time friend of mine, the Secretary, Rita Sendil Kumar, the other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and the newly enrolled advocates and their parents. Good evening to all of you. Now this present function is threefold in character. I'll go to the first one. That is with regard to International Day of Women Judges. For statistics, out of the 1,114 sanctioned strength for the high courts for the entire country, there are about 106 women judges adorning various high courts. Out of which I am proud to say that Tamil Nadu is one of the leading states having 14 members of women judges. And perhaps the first. Next comes Punjab and Haryana, Gujarat and Karnataka, Maharashtra. And you must be really happy to get enrolled before a judge who, it's not a prediction, but it is a foregone conclusion, will be the first Chief Justice of India from the Madras Bar. And that's why there's a befitting function on the International Women Judges Day that a well-read erudite scholar, a very knowledgeable person, a kind-hearted woman, and who is very friendly to the members of the bar are present here, and she will advise you as to what and how you should do in your profession. This is with regard to the first aspect of the matter. With regard to the International Women's Day, I have to state, it has been long said, Mangayaraha Pirapadarke Nalla Madhavam Seidira Vendumamma. Tamil Nadu is a state which respects and recognizes women, and it has been leading in women empowerment. And you would be surprised to know out of the 14 women judges adorning the High Court, Madras High Court right now, not less than 5 of them from the subordinate bar, subordinate judiciary, which shows that women have become judges in Tamil Nadu at the subordinate level long back, so that they are now elevated as a judge of the High Court of Madras. So women empowerment in Tamil Nadu is very great, and I request all of you to take advantage of it. And as chairman said in his inaugural speech, that out of the 130,000 lawyers enrolled in the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, 30,000 of them belong to the women, the fairer sex. I know, being the father of 2 daughters, the difficulties which women face in their profession or in any other avocation. You have to balance the interest of the family interest as well as professional interest. And that is the reason why some of the women lawyers do not continue for long so as to adorn the judiciary. Even the national statistics says only 11% of the judges of the High Court are women. Whereas population-wise, they are almost equal. 49% of the population of our country consists of fairer sex. Work hard, concentrate on the profession, customize yourself. I know women have to be doing multitasking. They have to take care of the family, they have to take care of the profession, and they have to also bring up their children in the proper way. So for the newly enrolled women lawyers, who I am told are numbering about more than 200, I request them to continue in the profession, surmount all the difficulties that are faced in your way, and achieve and adorn the judiciary like the person before whom you have taken oath of office. With regard to menfolk, I can say that a lawyer, the mantra of success for any lawyer is hard work, patience, perseverance, and painstaking efforts to pursue the excellence in law, to know the law, and understand the nuances of the law are very important. Today, you have started a long journey. This is only the beginning, and you have to go a long way. As a person who have completed nearly 46 years in the profession, I can tell you, it is not a bed of roses, but it is a mixture of everything. And obstacles are placed in your life not to be boggled at, but to be surmounted. I wish and hope that all of you will surmount all the difficulties placed in the path to excellence in the profession and come out very successful and have a glorious career. Thank you.
but to this offer. I wish and
Thank you, sir. Now I request our Vice Chairman, Mr. V. Karthikeyan, to felicitate the young entrants. Please, sir.
and have a good. Thank you.
அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். தேடி சோறு தினந்தென்று பல சின்ன சிறுகதைகள் பேசி மனம் வாடி துன்பம் உழன்று பிறர் வாட பல செயல்கள் செய்து நரைகூடி கிளப்பெருவ மேதி கொடுங்கோற்று கிரையெனப்பின் வாழும் பல வேடிக்கை மனிதரை போல் நான் வீழ்வேன் என்று நினைத்தாயோ என்ற பாரதியின் வாக்குக்கு இணங்க பிறந்தோம் வாழ்ந்தோம் என்றில்லாமல் சட்ட தொழிலை தேர்ந்தெடுத்து இன்று வழக்கறிஞர்களாக பதிவு செய்த உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் தமிழ்நாடு பார் கவுன்சில் சார்பாக என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். இந்த அருமையான வழக்கறிஞர் பதிவு நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு நாங்கள் அழைத்தவுடன் பல்வேறு பொறுப்புகளிடையே அதிலும் குறிப்பாக மகளிர் தினத்தையும் சேர்த்து கொண்டாட வேண்டும் என்ற ஒரு எண்ண ஓட்டத்தில் நீதியரசரை அணுகியவுடன் எங்கள் அழைப்பை ஏற்று வந்த மாண்புமிகு நீதியரசர் டாக்டர் அனிதா சுமந்த் அவர்களே, இந்த 1000 பேருக்கு மேல் ஒரு என்ரோல்மெண்ட் நடத்த வேண்டும் என்றவுடன் கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 20 நாட்களாக என்னுடைய இந்தியாவில் இருக்கக்கூடிய இளம் பார் கவுன்சில் தலைவராக வீட்டிருக்கக்கூடிய பார் கவுன்சிலுடைய தலைவர் PS அமல்ராஜ் அவர்களே, இந்தியாவிலிருந்து தமிழ்நாட்டிலிருந்து இந்தியாவிற்கு தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டு கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 15 வருடங்களாக அகில இந்திய பார் கவுன்சில் உறுப்பினராக இருந்ததோடு மட்டுமல்லாமல் கடந்த 3 முறை எங்களால் அன்புடன் கேப்டன் என்று அழைக்கப்படும் அகில இந்திய பார் கவுன்சில் துணைத் தலைவராக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டுள்ள அருமை அண்ணன் பிரபாகரன் அவர்களே, இந்த என்ரோல்மெண்ட் பதிவு நிகழ்ச்சியை மிக சிறப்பாக தலைமையேற்று நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கின்ற அதனுடைய தலைவர் சமூக நீதி எப்பொழுது என்றாலும் பேசக்கூடிய அருமை அண்ணன் பாலு அவர்களே, அவர்களோடு உடனிருந்த கிட்டத்தட்ட எங்களுடைய தலைவர் சொன்னது போல் ஒரு 40 வருடத்தில் 25 பார் கவுன்சில் உறுப்பினர்களில் மீண்டும் பெண் உறுப்பினராக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட அக்கா பிரிசில்லா பாண்டியன் அவர்களே, சேலம் என்னுடைய அருமை சகோதரர் பார் கவுன்சில் என்ரோல்மெண்ட் கமிட்டி உறுப்பினராக பல்வேறு பணிகள் அவருக்கு இருந்தாலும் சிறப்பாக நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய திரு சரவணன் அவர்களே, எங்களுடைய செயலாளர் சேலம் கிரீதா அவர்களே, இந்த விழாவிலே பாராட்ட வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய எங்களுடைய வழக்கறிஞர் மேடம் அம்பிகா மேடம் அவர்களே, உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் என்ரோல் மூவ் செய்த அக்கா நளினி அவர்களே, எங்களுடைய வழக்கறிஞர் கவுன்சிலுடைய வழக்கறிஞர் விஜயலட்சுமி அவர்களே, உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய மாலை வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்து, இன்று உலக மகளிர் தினம் என்பதால் இந்த வழக்கறிஞர் தொழிலில் இந்தியாவின் முதல் வழக்கறிஞர் யார் என்பது நீங்கள் எல்லாம் அறிந்திருக்கிறீர்கள் என்று தெரியவில்லை. 1883 இன்று கொரானிலா சொராப்ஜி என்ற முதல் பெண்மணிதான் 1893 கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 140 வருடங்களுக்கு முன்பாக முதல் வழக்கறிஞராக இந்தியாவிலே பதிவு பெற்றவர் என்பதை இந்த நேரத்திலே சொல்ல ஆசைப்படுகின்றேன். அதன் பிறகு இந்தியா சுதந்திரம் அடைவதற்கு முன்பு முதல் மாவட்ட நீதிபதியாக நீதியரசர் அண்ணா சாண்டி அவர்கள் 1937 முதல் பெண் நீதிபதியாக மாவட்ட அளவிலே தேர்வு பெற்று பிறகு முதல் பெண் நீதிபதியாக சுதந்திரம் அடைந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட 12 ஆண்டுகள் கழித்து உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தின் முதல் பெண் நீதிபதியாக கேரளாவை சேர்ந்த நீதியரசர் அண்ணா சாண்டி அவர்கள் 1959 பதவியேற்றார் என்பதை இந்த நேரத்தில் தெரிவித்து, அதே போல தலைமை நீதிபதியாக மாநிலத்தின் தலைமை நீதிபதியாக இதுவரை பெண் வந்துள்ளார் என்று பார்க்கின்ற பொழுது அதிலே டெல்லியிலிருந்து தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட லைலா சேத் என்பவர் ஹிமாச்சல் பிரதேசனுடைய உயர்நீதிமன்றத்துடைய தலைமை நீதியரசராக கிட்டத்தட்ட 42 வருடங்கள் சுதந்திரம் அடைந்து 44 வருடங்கள் கழித்து முதல் தலைமை நீதிபதி ஒரு மாநிலத்தின் முதல் தலைமை நீதியரசராக கிடைக்கின்ற வாய்ப்பு கிடைத்திருக்கிறது. அதன் பிறகு சுதந்திரம் அடைந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட 40 வருடத்தில் உச்சநீதிமன்றத்தின் முதல் பெண் நீதிபதியாக பாத்திமா பி அவர்கள் தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டார்கள். இந்த நிலையிலே இந்தியாவின் முதல் பெண் நீதிபதியாக இதுவரை 51 நீதியரசர்கள் வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். இப்பொழுது 2027 தான் BV நாகரத்னம் கர்நாடகா சேர்ந்த நீதியரசர் BV நாகரத்னம் அவர்கள் முதல் பெண் நீதிபதியாக 54வது பெண் நீதிபதியாக வருவதற்கான வாய்ப்பு கிட்டத்தட்ட சுதந்திரம் அடைந்து 75-80 வருடங்கள் கழித்து இப்பொழுதுதான் அமர்ந்திருக்கிறது என்பதை நேரத்திலே சொல்லி இங்கே அண்ணன் பேசும்போது சொன்னார் நீதியரசரை பற்றி சொல்லும்போது இங்கே வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய சிறப்பு நிதி இவர்களால் நீங்கள் வாழ்த்து பெறுவது என்பது அண்ணன் சொன்னார். நானும் உண்மையிலே மனதார சொல்கின்றேன். தமிழ்நாட்டிலிருந்து முதல் தலைமை நீதியரசராக உச்சநீதிமன்ற தலைமை நீதியரசர் சதாசிவம் இருந்தார். அதன் பிறகு ஒரு பெண் நீதிபதி தமிழ்நாட்டிலிருந்து ஒருவர் அந்த உச்சத்தை தொடுவதற்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்கிறது. அது நீதியரசர் அனிதா சுமந்த் அவர்கள் என்பது இந்த நேரத்திலே பதிவு செய்து எங்களுடைய பிரேயர், எங்களுடைய கடவுளிடம் அம்மா அவர்கள் அந்த நிலையை அடைவதற்கு எங்களுடைய பிரார்த்தனை என்றும் இருக்கும் என்பதை இந்த நேரத்தில் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். அதே போல நீங்கள் எல்லாம் இன்று வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்திருக்கிறீர்கள், இதுவரை சட்ட மாணவராக இருந்திருக்கிறீர்கள். இனி வருங்காலங்களில் எத்தனை பேர் இதில் வாழ்க்கையிலே கொள்கையாக வழக்கறிஞராக அந்த சமுதாயத்திற்கு போராட வந்திருக்கிறீர்கள் என்று தெரியவில்லை. ஆனால் இதுவரை என் மகன் பிறந்த போது உங்களுடைய பெயரை சொல்வதில் உங்கள் தாய் தந்தை பெருமைப்பட்டிருப்பார்கள். ஆனால் இன்றிலிருந்து அவர்கள் என் மகன் வழக்கறிஞர் ஆகிவிட்டான், என் மகள் வழக்கறிஞர் ஆகிவிட்டார் என்ற அந்த ஆனந்த கண்ணீரை தருகின்ற இடத்தில் நீங்கள் எல்லாம் அமர்ந்திருக்கிறீர்கள். அவர்களுக்கு இந்த நேரத்திலே என்னுடைய நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். நான் அடிக்கடி சொல்வேன், மருத்துவர் உயிரை காப்பாற்றுவார், பொறியாளர் கட்டிடம் கணிப்பொறி வடிவமைப்பார், ஆனால் ஒரு வழக்கறிஞர் மட்டும்தான் உயிருள்ள மனிதனை உரிமையோடு வாழ வழிவகை செய்வான். அந்த உரிமையை பெற்றுத்தருகின்ற இடத்தில் நீங்கள் அமர்ந்திருக்கிறீர்கள் என்று சொல்லி உங்களுடைய பார்வை என்றையும் இந்த சமுதாயத்தை சார்ந்ததாகவும் நம்ம சுற்றி இருக்கின்றவர்களை சார்ந்ததாக அமையும் என்று சொல்லி நமது அண்ணன் பாலு அவர்களை நான் சொல்வேன். பொதுநல வழக்கு அடிக்கடி போடுவார் என்று. அவர் போடுகின்ற ஒவ்வொரு வழக்கிலுமே உதாரணமாக நான் அந்த டாஸ்மார்க்ல சொல்வேன், சாலைகளிலே நெடுஞ்சாலைகளிலே பார்த்தீங்க என்றால் டாஸ்மார்க் அமைந்து அதை ஓட்டுநர்கள் குடிக்கின்ற பொழுது நிறைய வாகன விபத்து ஏற்படுகிறது. அதனால் அங்கே அமைக்கக்கூடாது என்று உயர்நீதிமன்றத்திலே ஒரு தடை உத்தரவை பெற்றார். அது உச்சநீதிமன்றம் வரை சென்று இன்று 500 மீட்டர் அளவிலே வைக்கக்கூடாது என்ற உத்தரவை பெற்று தமிழ்நாடு உள்ள இந்தியா முழுவதும் பல உயிர்களை காப்பாற்றியவர் அண்ணன் பாலு அவர்கள் இந்த நேரத்தில் பதிவு செய்து, உங்களுடைய பார்வை விசாலமாக அமைய வேண்டும். நம் குடும்பத்திற்கு நாம் பொருளீட்ட வந்திருக்கிறோம், நீங்க பயப்பட வேணாம். ஒரு என்ரோல்மெண்ட்டுக்கு 1000 பேர்னு இந்த தமிழ்நாடு இந்தியாவை பொறுத்தவரை இன்றைக்கு 145 கோடி, சைனா விட 4 கோடி நம்ம முன்னேறிட்டோம். இரண்டாவது இடத்துக்கு சைனா போயிடுச்சு மக்கள் தொகையில. இந்த 145 கோடியில் தமிழ்நாட்டில் இந்தியாவிலே 1% வழக்கறிஞர்கள் இருக்க வேண்டும் என்றால் 1,45,00,000 பேர் இந்தியாவில் இருக்கணும். ஆனா இந்தியாவில் இருக்கின்ற வழக்கறிஞர் அகில இந்திய பார் கவுன்சில் கேட்டீங்கன்னா 30 லட்சம் பேர் இருந்தா பெருசு. தமிழ்நாட்டுடைய மக்கள் தொகை இன்று 8 கோடி. 8 லட்சம் பேர் 1% 8% 1% என்றால் 8 லட்சம் இருக்க வேண்டும். 1% என்றால் 4 லட்சம் இருக்க வேண்டும். ஆனால் தமிழ்நாடு பார் கவுன்சில் இருப்பதோ 1,45,000 பேர் மட்டும்தான் இருக்கிறார்கள். உங்களுக்கான வாய்ப்பு பிரகாசமாக இருக்கின்றது. நல்ல முறையிலே நீங்கள் உழைத்துக் கொண்டே இருங்கள், உன்னத நிலையை அடைவீர்கள் என்று சொல்லி வாய்ப்புக்கு நன்றி கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம். உங்களுக்கான வாய்ப்பு பிரகாசமாக இருக்கின்றது.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, to felicitate the young entrants, please, sir.
நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of India, to felicitate the young entrants, please, sir.
Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumanth, Judge High Court of Madras, Mr. P.S. Amalraj, Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, my friend Mr. V. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu, Mr. R. Vidudalai, Senior Advocate, Member, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Madam Priscilla Pandian, Chairman, Executive Committee, Mr. K. Balu, Chairman of the Enrollment Committee, Mr. D. Saravanan, Co-Chairman, Member, Enrollment Committee, Madam Ambika, Greta Madam, Mrs. Vijay Kannan Madam, and the new enrolled lawyers, respected senior advocates, and members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. Today is not a day like any other usual enrollment. There is something special for today, and by now you all would have known that as we have gathered here to celebrate the International Women's Day and International Women Judges Day, coupled with enrollment function. What is more special is that we are remembering all the great women in the presence of a great woman that is our esteemed chief guest, Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant. And I must say, all my young friends are very much blessed as they get enrolled into this noble profession in the august presence of this gathering led by our Lordships Dr. Anita Sumant. I know our Lordships Justice Anita Sumant have much today say about this auspicious occasion of International Women's Day and the Women's Judges Day. But before the brainstorm session, I feel this stage and this gathering is the best place to celebrate the strength, resilience, and incredible contributions of women around the world. The International Women's Day, a reminder of how far we have come and how much more we still have to achieve in the pursuit of equality, empowerment, and justice for all women, regardless of this background, ethnicity, or profession. Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear friends, we all must understand that the society that is known to all today, where the women enjoy equal freedom and equal rights as such of men, was not the same few hundred years of back. The history of the struggle for women rights and women empowerment dates back to 1848 with a fight for equal political rights for women. In 1995, the struggle for women empowerment resulted with gender equality with the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, a groundbreaking plan that set bold goals for women's rights. For centuries, women have fought for equal rights, opportunities, and the freedom, from the suffragist to digital activist. Each generation has pushed boundaries, shattered barriers, and refused to step back. And my young friends must know that it was the lawyers and great scholars who had played main role in this. So let us remember those days and our great scholars who made remarkable changes in our society. It is because of them we have got several great women lawyers in this profession. We all know that one time the legal field was historically been dominated by men. But today, more and more women are making their mark as the judges, lawyers, and legal scholars. This is visible to me by looking at this crowd. As we all are encouraging young leaders and young lawyers in women, we must also make sure that they are comfortable in this profession. I may say that nowadays, one aspect is very encouraging. I am able to find more women lawyers in the court premises, and they are indulging in active practice. This has to be appreciated for our young women members of the bar. I would only give one advice. Keep your aims high and take inspirations. The great changes in this legal profession have happened because of many women lawyers, and one such a great inspiration is before us today and is none other than our Lordship Dr. Justice Anita Sumant. You know all that our Lordship does not require an introduction. She is a jewel in the crown of the Indian judiciary. I recall the day when Amal Raj called me. He said we are going to have an enrollment function on 10th. And he said that the day is going to coincide with the International Women Judges Day. Then I asked who is going to be the chief guest. he immediately said, "It is our Lordship Justice Anita Sumant." And then I immediately said, "No one else is going to be more suitable than our Lordships to lead this day." Our Lordships, Dr. Justice Anita Sumant, is known for her humbleness, humility, and patience in hearing the arguments of the advocates, where no practicing member of the bar could ever say that they went unheard in her Lordship's court. She made significant contribution to the judicial systems through her exemplary judgments that has revised faith in the judiciary in the minds of the public, and their grievances would never go unheard. Her Lordship is recognized for her balanced approach and commitment to upholding the law, ensuring fairness and integrity in every case she presides over. It is a great honor for our Bar Council to celebrate Women Judges Day in the presence of our Lordships, who is going to be an inspiration for many young girls who are going to step into this profession. My young minds, while taking about our Women Judges Day, it is an opportunity for us to remember the great women lawyers like Cornelia Sorabji and judges like Anna Chandi and Fatima Bibi. I don't know whether you all know about India's first woman lawyer. She is none other than the Cornelia Sorabji. She is an inspiration to all today, and we have to take her way of life to succeed. Today there are many talks about doing pro bono works. Even at several instances, the Supreme Court is encouraging to do pro bono litigations. Don't think about doing it in the early of British Raj, when this field was totally dominated by men and English barristers. At the period of Cornelia Sorabji was the only woman lawyer, and she did as many as 600 pro bono litigation to laborers. We all have to also remember that the first woman judge in the High Court, who is the Justice Anna Chandi, and we all know about her, the first woman Supreme Court judge, Fatima Bibi. All these women are known for their perseverance and hard work and continuous commitment, and it's people like them to shatter the glasses, ceilings, and pave the way for the future generation of women to the place of leadership in the law and policy. On this International Women's Day, let's only celebrate how we have come, but also renew our commitment to achieving the true equality of women, all walks of life, especially in the legal profession. We need to celebrate, create an environments where women are even given the equal opportunity to succeed, where mentorship and support system are in the place to help them thrive, and where their voice and heard every decision that affects their lives. By ensuring that women have an equal seat at the table in the legal world, we contribute to building a fairer, more just society, and I feel today we are doing it with much commitment in molding this society as a better place to live. With that, before I conclude, to my young friends who are getting into the bar, there is a few things which you all need to keep in mind. This profession is not a place for your work to earn money. It is a service that you are providing to the society. The nobility comes to this profession because it is the part of the system. Therefore, this profession commands the respect in the society. Today, you are stepping into the system, the society, so make sure you make a mark in your profession, is dedicated to safeguarding the rule of law, protecting rights, and upholding the justice in the society. As you take the oaths and enter the legal fraternity, you become the part of proud traditions that has shaped the destiny of our nation since the independence, and your presence here today is a testament to your hard work perseverance, and determination, which is a proud moment for you, your families, as well as it is a beginning journey that demands of lifelong learning, relentless efforts, and steadfast commitment to justice, to truth. You have chosen to path that demands of integrity, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to truth. As a young lawyers, be focused on your duties. Don't expect much returns at the standing of the career. Once you find a place in this profession, which you all would within 3 to 4 years, then you will get a demand for your work and its rewards. So my young friends, as you step into this profession, remember there will be moments when road seems tough, when the work feels endless, and when doubts creeps you. You will face difficult cases, clients with complex needs, and adversaries who test your strength. But these challenges are not obstacles. These are the opportunities to grow, to refine your skills, and to prove yourself what is you truly capable as your legal profession is not just about the winning cases or drafting contracts, it's about making differences. So let's make a difference and contribute to more to the society and make it better place to live. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. This is the time to honor our honorable judge and others. I request our chairman, Mr. P.S. Amalraj, and Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of Bar Council of India, and Mr. V. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman, and others to join to honor our honorable judge. Thank you, Lordships. Now I request our Lordships and our Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Vice Chairman of Bar Council of India and others to present momento Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, for being elected as a Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India third time. This is a great achievement. Kindly applause. Now I request our Lordship and our Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Vice Chairman of Bar Council of India and others to present a memento to our Mrs. J. Priscilla Pandian, Chairman of the Executive Committee and Member Enrollment Committee, for her long journey in this Bar Council and her dedication and her hard work and everything, and for great support for our lady staffs, especially particular us. Thank you, Lordships. Now I request our Lordships and our Chairman, Vice Chairman, and others to present a memento to Mrs. V. Ambika, Advocate and Court Member, who have joined in this disciplinary committee for past 10 years. And without any gap, she used to conduct the proceedings, and always she is perfect in conducting disciplinary proceedings. Now I request our Lordships and others to present a memento to Nalini, Mrs. Nalini, Advocate. She was a shield for the advocates, and she always there. Where there is a problem, she will be there to protect the lady advocates. Now I request our Lordships to present a gift to our counsel, Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi. She was the counsel for our Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Now I request our Lordship to present a special book to our senior most member of the bar, Mr. R. Vidudalai.
I request our Lordship to give a memento to our Secretary, First Women's Secretary of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu Puducherry Office.
I request our Lordships to present a small gift and a great gift for our staffs, lady staffs, for celebrating this Women's Day. I request Mrs. Sheila Kumari to come to the stage, and VJ Mary, then T. Chitra, R. Divya, M. Divya, P. Priyadashini, S. Manisha, K. Kavita, Helen Pavitra, T. Jayasudha, Ma Maheshwari.
Acquire. Two more. Okay.
Now I request our Honorable Lordships to deliver special address on professional ethics and etiquette. Please, show us.
Most respected dignitaries on the dais, respected dignitaries of the dais, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, the heroes and heroines of today's function. Good evening to all of you. First of all, my warmest congratulations to each and every one of you who have been enrolled today. Best wishes to all of you. I hope you have a very, very satisfying, prosperous career ahead of you. And my congratulations to the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu for acquiring so many young, enthusiastic, talented lawyers on their rolls. The previous speakers have been very kind in speaking about me, and I'm quite overwhelmed with all the sentiments that have been expressed. Now the pressure is really on to say the right things, and I'm wondering if I will disappoint, but here goes. We started by having a few people standing on the aisles on this side. And what immediately came to mind is, one of the things that all of you as lawyers will have to do is to stand in courts endlessly for long hours. So perhaps this was a means of practice. But see, after 1 hour, they've all found spots to find a seat, and they've all been seated. So ultimately, you will all get a seat at the table, and you will reach that position where you can be comfortably seated. So that's the moral of that. I am facing a room which is filled with young, energetic, talented youngsters, and this is a powerhouse of infinite possibilities. Why do I say that? There are possibilities for yourselves, possibilities for your chosen profession, possibilities for society, for your country, and for the world in general. Even 2 years ago, being a lawyer meant wearing a gown, studying your briefs for tomorrow, going to the courts, doing your work for the day, coming back, reading your briefs for the next day, and so on and on it went. But today, the possibilities for lawyers, for young lawyers poised on the threshold of starting a profession is really exciting, because it's not just practice that you have to look to. There are a whole lot of other opportunities that present themselves. Of course, I do hope that the majority of you will come into practice, because we need young blood in the profession. We want you to be part of the court scenario, to appear before us, and we want to listen to all of you, to hear all of you, to hear what you would have to say. But that apart, if practice is not for you, it doesn't matter, because there are other things that you can do as well. It's quite mind-boggling, really, the options that present themselves. They include writing your exams, becoming part of the judiciary. They include banking. You can become law officers in companies, public service, policy making, executive, arbitration, mediation. The list goes on and on. Mr. Amalraj has the unique distinction of making this a meeting with a dual purpose. He's celebrating both the cause of women today, because it is the International Day of Women Judges, and he is also conducting an enrollment function in the meanwhile. Today is the International Day of Women Judges. Does this mean that all of you are to aspire to the judiciary? Why not? But like I said, that need not be your only destination. Since we are also celebrating the cause of women today, it being very proximate to International Women's Day itself, I'll just say a few things. I've taken a cue from this, from what the previous speakers said as well. The cross-section of those who have enrolled here today is this. Total number enrolled is 1,020, of which 752 are men and 268 are women. Why have a celebration of the cause of women in a function where you have women as only, say, 1/3 of the proportion? I thought about that. And then I realized that espousing the cause of women or celebrating women is not a woman's job. It's a man's job. It is the men who have to provide the atmosphere to enable women to reach where each of you have the potential to reach. Mr. Vidudhai mentioned some statistics. He said that out of a total of about
I just want to make a small amendment to that. He said that out of about 1,100, which is the sanction strength of judges today, we have 106 women, but the 106 has to be seen qua the working strength of men judges. And that would be 786, 1/7. Still not a very happy figure, but still it's better than 107 on 750 is better than 107 on 1,100. What do you say? Correct? Yes. So I just wanted to amend that figure to you. But if you go to the districts, one of the earlier speakers also said that pan-India, the figure is close to about 50%. In Tamil Nadu too, we have very, very robust statistics. We have about close to 45% of the judiciary, Tamil Nadu judicial service, peopled with women. That's a very robust figure. And personally, I can tell you, in all the committees that I have been part of, whether we are recruiting law clerks or research law assistants or law assistants for the Tamil Nadu Judicial Academy or public prosecutors, whatever it may be, we find that women are putting a big fight when it comes to the positions, a very strong fight, if I may say, and they are running in majority for all those positions. It is important that men celebrate the women. It is important that the playing field is level. Swami Vivekananda said that society is akin to a bird with two wings. Men constitute one wing and women constitute the other. If you want to have society have a seamless and a smooth flight, it's necessary that both the wings must flap equally strongly. Therefore, it is important that it is not just women who celebrate women and work for their cause, but men should also do that. We have constitutional guarantees. We have government orders. We have policies that are floated by the government, by bodies, to ensure that the voice of women is heard and equal opportunity is also given to them. But these guarantees, the policies and all of it would mean nothing unless they are implemented in true measure, in the spirit with which they are implemented. Let me give you an example. You have all heard of the famous case of Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan. It was in that case that the Supreme Court had issued the Vishaka guidelines, which are to protect women from sexual harassment in the workplace. I hope all of you have heard of that. Yes, the men have also heard of it. No? Yes, all right. Those guidelines were issued expecting or anticipating that an act would come, would be imminent, paving the way for a legislation. And that this judgment was rendered in 1987. But the POSH Act, or the Prevention of Sexual Harassment in Workplaces Act, came in 2013, after a gap of 16 years. So, you know, these things take time. Policy takes time, implementation of policy takes time, and in the meanwhile, it is us who have to be there for each other to ensure that every single voice is heard. And Mr. Prabhakaran mentioned mentoring. It's a very important concept today. Each of us will have to mentor. You may wonder, as a newly minted law graduate, how can I mentor anybody? I need to be mentored. That's right. We are all there to mentor you and make sure that we are here to assist you or help you or guide you in any way that you may need. But you are also to provide mentorship to those who are arriving at the stage where you have arrived now. You are to give them advice, make sure that you give them the right advice, support them in any way. I don't want to mention the methods by which you could, because that is unique to what you can do. So make sure that you provide that mentorship to those who want to reach here. We have all arrived here on the shoulders of those who paved the way for us, who made the way easy for us. And it is your responsibility now, all 1,200 of you here, to make sure that you pave the way for others to arrive here as well. That is as far as celebration of the cause of women is concerned. The topic for the lecture today is professional etiquette and ethics, which is a very, very important one, particularly bearing in mind various instances that have come up relating to the conduct of the bar before the courts, etc. It's important that we reiterate these principles from day one and remember it going forward. Now, the chapter 2 of part 6 of the Bar Council of India rules touch on standards of professional conduct and etiquette. And the preamble reads this. Please permit me to read. An advocate shall, at all times, conduct himself in a manner befitting his status as an officer of the court, a privileged member of the community, and a gentleman, bearing in mind that what may be lawful and moral for a person who is not a member of the bar, or for a member of the bar in his non-professional capacity, may still be improper for an advocate. I'll pause here for a minute. So what does this mean? This means that the standards of professional etiquette, of conduct, are far higher for an advocate than what it would be for any other person in society. So your standards would have to be perched at a threshold which would command a far higher sense of decorum, sense of honesty, sense of integrity, sense of conduct than an ordinary or a non-advocate may command in society. I will continue the last 4 lines. Without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing obligation, an advocate shall fearlessly uphold the interests of his client and in his conduct conform to the rules hereinafter mentioned, both in letter and in spirit. Fearlessly conform, uphold the interests of his client. This just made me remember a very interesting discussion that I had with a senior advocate one day. And this was in relation to the conundrum that these 4 lines throw up. This says that you will fearlessly uphold the interests of your client come what may, and you must do that. Every single step you must do that. There may be occasions that will confront you in the course of your practice, in the course of your profession, when you believe that the interests of the client clash or do not align with what you believe would be right. What do you do in such situations? There would be a clash between a personal morality, the morality that the client projects. If there is a clash between personal morality and constitutional morality, the way forward is very clear. It is constitutional morality that must prevail. But what do you do if there is a clash between a morality that you own and a morality that the client projects? You will have to make a call at that point in time. This is a very interesting discussion. We came to no conclusions, even today. Luckily, in 2016, when I was elevated, such difficult questions I did not have to face thereafter. But these questions are something that you will have to resolve yourself. If there is a question like that, would you tell your client, look, this is something that I find difficult to espouse. This is something that militates against my morality. And part ways amicably, or would you say that the rules require that I espouse the cause of my client despite what my morality may be? What is the calling of your professional morality at that point in time? These are questions that you would have to answer. So bear it in mind going forward. There are 4 sections thereafter. Section 1, which talks of duty to the court. Section 2, which talks of duty to the client. Section 3, which talks of duty to the opponent. And Section 4, which is duty to the colleagues. Duty to the court is very simple. You are an officer of the court first and foremost. And you will be able to, with experience, find that balance between doing your duty to the client and doing your duty to the court, ensuring that you stay true to both. There is a duty to the opponent in the sense that you would have to be fair to your opponent. We've had instances, and our seniors tell us, we see it as well. 2 lawyers will fight in the court, and when they go out, they have their hands around each other's shoulders. That's the beauty of this profession, that there is a duty to your opponent in the court to be fair to him, and thereafter you continue your personal relationship outside of the court. Now, I could do no better than to give you a synopsis of 7 lamps of advocacy, which is a wonderful book written by Justice Edward Abbott Perry. He talks of these 7 lamps to illuminate your paths going forward. I'll just very briefly give you a synopsis of what these 7 lamps are all about. Remember that these are lamps. So they are lit lamps, not lamps which are just there unlit. You are to light each of these lamps to make sure that they light your path going forward. The first is a lamp of honesty. Honesty is a very wide word, and we all in school learn honesty is the best policy. It is so ingrained that sometimes it becomes stale and we don't think about it with the freshness with which we have to approach it. Honesty has wide ramifications, and it covers honesty of all kinds. Not just an economic honesty or monetary honesty. We are talking about intellectual honesty and any other kind of honesty. It essentially means integrity in what you say, in what you do. And this is, in my view, a non-negotiable lamp, because if this doesn't appeal to us, none of us have any business being here. So it is a non-negotiable lamp. The second is the lamp of courage. Because fearlessness or courage is an adjunct of honesty. It is only if you are fearless and courageous that you can be honest. There will be instances where you have to stand your ground. You have to stand your ground either with a client, which is what I mentioned earlier when I spoke to you about there being a clash of moralities, clash of thinking, or there may be instances where you may have to stand your ground with a court. Whatever it is, whether it is with a client, your fearlessness will show in the firmness with which you adhere to ethics and morals. Sometimes, perhaps, at the risk of losing that client. In all such moral or ethical dilemmas, it is courage and honesty that must win. With the court as well, you have the responsibility to speak courageously when you know, or at least when you believe that you are right. I want to give you a small example in this matter. As judges, we don't know everything. So when we hear a case, there are many things that we learn. The quality of our judgments would depend on the quality of the input that we get from you. So it's very important that you equip yourself well and give us the best input so that we'll be able to write better, decide things better. There was one judgment recently where a colleague of mine had said that in civil disputes, where there is a dispute between a couple, how do you divide the assets? There is only a thumb rule in these matters. There is no law on how the division of assets is to be done. If you're a student of finance or accounts, you will know that what is normally done is they will take the documentation relating to that asset, or they will take the means and modes by which the asset has been purchased, who has contributed the money to purchase the asset, and then there will be a conclusion that the document stands in this name, but in any event we have found that the sources for that asset have come from one party or another, and therefore the asset is divided. This was in a case where the husband was working, the wife was a homemaker. And a colleague of mine said that it doesn't mean that a homemaker does not contribute to the purchase of assets in a family home. And I too had the benefit of deciding that, of looking into that issue in a different matter. World over, division of assets is made more equitably. In spite of the cost of the asset being contributed by one party or the other, many jurisdictions say that if it is a couple in a marital home, there should be an equal division of assets. No, we don't have such a law here. But it was my colleague who said that in a homemaker, in the case of a homemaker, she's the one who takes care of the home, she's the one who takes care of the children, she's the one who runs the home, manages the home well. And had it not been for her efforts, it would not have been possible for the male to do what he did. So ultimately the conclusion was that there should be an equal division of the assets. So You see, these are things that go beyond what the law tells us right now. There is no specific law on this, but with this, there was a leap made in terms of the jurisprudence, which is what we want you all to do. We want you to think about things that you believe deeply in and have the courage to tell us this. Today, you may not be able to convince a bench of 5 judges. 3 may agree with you, there may be 2 who dissent. Ultimately, or 3 may not agree with you, 2 may agree with you, which will be a dissent. But ultimately, the dissent may become law. You see, that is how the law marches forward. That is how the law evolves. And this is where we want your courageous, your fearless, your confident input. The third is the lamp of industry. Hard work is a given as far as this profession is concerned. Very often, we think that, when we see merit, it is an inherent quality. No, it is not. It is not, in many occasions, something which one is born with. It is acquired through hard work. And I remember when I joined office nearly 3 decades ago, I remember asking my senior what my working hours were. And he was very surprised. He said, working hours, all your waking hours are working hours. I don't know how many people will appreciate that today. But bear in mind that hard work, industry, and total commitment and dedication are necessary if you wish to have a quality result from your career. I don't know how many of you I'm scaring off now. I just want to say something. This generation is more aware than earlier generations were on work-life balance, on maintaining a harmony between your professional life, your personal life, and we agree. You have to maintain a balance between your professional life and your personal life because it's important. Mrs. Priscilla very rightly said, you have to take care of your physical health and your mental health. It's very important in today's times. And in order to maintain your physical health and your, or did Mrs. Nalini say that? All right. It is very important to maintain a balance between your professional health and your mental health because if you want to give your best to both your personal life and your professional life, you should have some equanimity in the way you do things. You must have a balance. So do the two militate against each other. Does achieving professional excellence mean that you have to compromise on other things? Well, that's an answer only you can arrive at. There is no one-size-fits-all solution that anybody can give you about how do you achieve that sweet spot, as you would say in your language. How do you achieve that balance between giving your best to your profession and making sure that you don't lose out on a healthy personal life as well? Work it out. Read widely. When we were talking about industry, it's important to read widely, not just about the law. The law, your work will force you to read widely about the law because you have to argue that case tomorrow. You jolly well know the law about that. But read everything that you can lay hands on. Definitely newspapers and periodicals which will keep you abreast with current events, about current politics. You don't need a political alignment, but you need to be politically aware. Because if you wish to effect changes about circumstances, situations around you, then you should know what that is in order that you can take effective action about it. Most of you would have chosen law to make a difference to society. But remember that you must be the change that you want to see. And this change will happen only with awareness of what needs to be changed. Fourth is the lamp of wit. Wit can save many a tough or sticky situation. The tip here is don't take yourself too seriously. Yes, many of the things that I say here may look like they contradict each other. But if you ruminate on it, you will know how to apply it to yourselves, to your situations, and draw the best from it. We are all here to learn and make a mark on the world, and we need to do it in a pleasant way. One doesn't appreciate aggression or rudeness, and in fact, that will have negative results. Be firm but polite and self-effacing as far as possible, maintaining your dignity. That dignity and confidence will come if you have done your homework and you know that you are right in what you say. That will take you a long way. The lamp of eloquence. One believes again that eloquence is an inborn talent, but it is one that can be cultivated as well. One very obvious suggestion that I have here is please watch lawyers. When we started practice, we had to go to the courts and then see lawyers. Greats who would come down from different parts of the country, greats of the Madras bar itself. We would, after we have finished our work in the courts, we would go and sit and listen to the others. Learn how they speak, learn from them what to do, what not to do, how to cultivate courtcraft. These things are very important. All of you are really privileged and lucky in one way because you have the benefit of YouTube and you have the benefit of the internet. What you need to do is to pick on, there are YouTube series which have arguments, speeches of very great orators. Please listen to those orations. Learn how you can be concise and effective. What a judge does not like is a long, meandering argument where a lot is said with nothing said. That's not something which anybody would appreciate. You need to learn how to speak concisely, and speaking concisely is eloquence by itself. Equally important is that you join professional organizations, study circles. You are just starting out. So I would not say immediately join an IPR organization and learn only about it. You can join an IPR organization or join a revenue bar association, or if you have a particular interest towards a particular subject, by all means cultivate it. But very important that you attend lectures that the bar associations will conduct amongst yourself. Please have study circles so that you can deliberate and analyze on what case somebody else did, what did you do, share your notes, share your thoughts, so that your knowledge of the subjects becomes wide. I just have 3 suggestions to make, suggested readings. One is, you can make a note if you would like. One is Professional Conduct and Advocacy by K. Krishnaswamy Iyer. I think the library will have it. Bar Council, on the last occasion I spoke also, I requested that they keep adequate copies in their library. This is not a book that is available online, but the Bar Council could consider keeping enough copies available so that you can read that. The second is The Golden Rules of Advocacy by Keith Evans. Of course, this will have a British approach and an American approach. But like I said, read wide so that your knowledge is a mile deep, not an inch deep and a mile wide. That's the difference. So please read about all other jurisdictions so that you can improve your knowledge as well. And the third is The Legal Mind, an Approach to the Dynamics of Advocacy by Gerald Abrahams. If you have the time, please read these books. They will help you to hone your speaking abilities, to hone your advocacy skills, and to help you to speak concisely and think on your feet. The 6th is The Lamp of Judgment. This is a lamp which is to cultivate a keen sense of what is right and what is wrong, so that you develop your own unique brand of fairness. When somebody says you're not being fair, it is from their perspective. Because they have an idea of what is being fair. When somebody says something, they believe that that militates against what I believe is fair. But there is what we call a universal sense of fairness. So the lamp, this lamp is to caution you to develop a unique sense of fairness, so that you're able to appreciate justice in all its contours. You know, I was not able to find a definition for the word justice. Why? Because what is the definition of the word definition? The definition for the word definition is to limit the expanse and meaning of a term. So if I define something, I am limiting it. You know, as lawyers, you have exhaustive definitions. You've got enumerative definitions, but still illustrative definitions. But when you define something, you're essentially trying to pigeonhole it, to put it into something and say, these are the contours of what this is. And justice refuses to have that done. Justice is not a term that should be limited and fenced in, but it should be let free in full glory. Perhaps that is the reason why I don't find a definition for the term justice. If there are 1,300 people in this room, there would be 1,300 opinions on what is right, what is just. Of course, I hasten to add that they must conform to a universal sense of what is fair, what is right, what is just. The seventh is the lamp of fellowship. Don't become unidimensional and so focused on your work that you get cut off from family and friends. Continue to cultivate your interests and your hobbies. Please have a healthy mix of friends both within the profession and out of the profession. Within the profession, yes, because you will have your own personal friends within the profession. You will also have friends who intellectually stimulate you, who talk to you about subjects that you are interested in, who talk to you about other subjects, who open up other different vistas. So those will be your professional friends and associates. You will also make sure that you keep in touch with your own school friends or your whoever your close circle of friends are. I have a close circle of friends who are musicians, because that's one of the things that I love. You may join a book club if you love books. Make sure that you read non-law books as well. So this lamp would achieve two objects: this fellowship as well as improvement in the study of the law, depending on where your circle of friends are. I said 7 lamps of advocacy. I found some articles online which added an 8th lamp, and that is the lamp of tact, T-A-C-T, develop tact. This is an add-on, and this is something that you will develop over time, how to be tactful. Some of us never develop it. And if you ask me, there's nothing wrong with that, because being blunt, honest, and tactless is better than being a diplomat whose word cannot be trusted. So, well, that's an optional lamp, if you ask me. If you wish to develop tact, but can still remain honest but tactful, please do, by all means. Now, the dedication in this book is a very interesting dedication. The author says, I dedicate this book, and I quote, to the 9th circuit where I have learnt these things. What does that mean? These 7 lamps are not lamps that touch so much on the law, but on life. Therefore, these are things that you will learn going forward. What you're entering today is not just a profession. It must become a way of life. Everything that you do would somehow attune you to a proper, appropriate, robust, and beautiful lifestyle where the law will be the cornerstone. And this development of justice, this understanding of justice that I said, that will happen, that will blossom over the years as you practice. I just have 2 words that I thought were important that I just wanted to place before you. One is, am I taking too long? I have another 5 minutes? Okay. The first is the word expectations. You have all heard of Stephen Hawking, the renowned theoretical physicist. He was born in 1952, and when he was on a brilliant career path, he was diagnosed at 21 years with motor neuron disease. He didn't let that deter him, and he went on, as you know, he went on to achieve what he did. On expectations, this is what he said, and I quote, "My expectations were reduced to 0 when I was 21. Everything after that has been a bonus. And for your information, his greatest discoveries, theories, and all his awards have been after the age of 21. So, what I wanted to say is, just go into the profession with the greatest of aims and goals, but don't expect anything which you may feel, if I don't achieve, I am going to be disappointed. I want to draw a distinction between an expectation and a goal or a vision. You must have a goal, a rough idea as to where you want to travel, and you must set high standards for yourself. But keep your expectations realistic. This will become very important to sustain your confidence along the way. And the second thing that I wanted to say was choices. Please think about the choices that you make along the way. Again, there can be very little that one can say on choices in a general sense, because they are very personal. Choices are personal. Make the choice that fits you the best. Never stop learning. Sometimes I do wish that I had been a better, more attentive student when I was in college. But you know, one of the silver linings of this COVID pandemic was that one of my family members was studying in law college at that time. So their courses were all online. So in fact, during the COVID pandemic, I took an optional course that the child was taking in my house. And I used to go fully armed with a notebook and a pencil and with all the previous reading done, to such an extent that the child used to tell me, I think you are better prepared for this class than I am. So enjoy learning. Don't stop learning, and enjoy it. There's a joy in keeping your interest in the subject alive, and never let that sag. The last thing that I wanted to say is, there is an elephant in the room, and that is the fee or the money that the profession will give you. You know, money, it's not a bad thing. You're here to make sure that it is a profession after all. It's not a service. And it is important that you are remunerated well for what you do, as long as you are aware that there's a fine line between avarice and charging right or charging appropriately. So please bear that fine distinction in mind. I was just asking the Bar Council members, there was talk for a long time that there should be some, those of you may want to start straight out by yourselves, in which case what I said now would be relevant. Those of you may join offices and find that you wish the remuneration was better. So there was a suggestion made to them that there should at least be a minimum fee fixed. And one of my colleagues has passed an order fixing some minimum remuneration for the salary for the advocates. We will not deliberate on the appropriateness or otherwise of that. Bear in mind that, in fact, Mr. Prabhakaran said that you're not here for the money, he said. I want to quote him. He said, you're not here for the money, you're here for the joy of the subject, for the beauty of the profession. Yes, I couldn't agree more, but we have to take ground realities and the practical side of the matter into our mind as well. So that will happen, you know. With excellence will come the rewards. So what I want to say to you on that is, focus on the excellence. Don't focus on the rewards. If you focus on the excellence, you concentrate on your job. With excellence, things will pan out and the rewards will come in time. Well, I think I've taken, I have more material to share with you, but I think I've taken a lot of your time. Thank you very much for a patient hearing. Again, my congratulations to each and every one of you, and my best wishes to all of you.
I request all the newly advocates to give big applause for our Honorable Judge for our continuous speeches and advices. Thank you, Lordships. Now I request Mr. D. Saravanan, Co-Chairman and Member of the Enrollment Committee, to propose vote of thanks to one and all. Please, sir.
Thank you.
chairman and member of to propose next one.
Kindly be seated. And also bear with me for another 10 minutes. I would complete my vote of thanks. Be seated. Dear Chairman, Mr. Amal Raj, Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant, and our Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India and Senior Advocate, Mr. Prabhakaran, our Vice Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. Velu Karthikeyan, our Senior Advocate, Mr. Vidudalai. I, on behalf of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, and on behalf of our Enrollment Committee, I thank our Lordship for your presence on this occasion. We had planned to have this enrollment function combining with International Day of Women's Judges and International Women's Day. Having your presence on this occasion is remarkable to all the young aspirants who got enrolled themselves as advocate in our State Bar Council. Having your presence on our Lordship had enlightened about the avenues available to the young advocates in this legal profession. Our Lordship also mentioned that we have lots of senior most advocates available to all of you to be a guiding star, and please take that guidance when you get into this profession and follow the footsteps. Our Lordship also highlighted about the 7 lamps of our profession to be followed by each and every one of you who got enrolled today for the betterment of our legal profession. Lordship, to be followed by each and every one of you got enrolled today. Our chairman mentioned about in his welcome speech that there are 2 judges in the Supreme Court of India and 14 judges are there in our Madras High Court. And in our state judiciary, we have more than 40% of women judges filled up in our judiciary. It is also endorsed by our chief guest. I thank you, Chairman, for your making this function a grand success. And our Vice Chairman, Mr. Prabhakaran, mentioned about the achievements of women in the political field and in our legal profession. He also enlightened about and pointed out that to those who enrolling today, to take Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant as your role model to flourish in your legal profession. I thank you, sir, for your guidance. And our senior advocate, Vidudalai, blessed all the new entrants with all his graceness. I thank you, sir, for your presence. Our Vice Chairman, Velu Karthikeyan, mentioned about the opportunities available for women advocates in judiciary. You can reach better heights if you work hard in this profession. I thank you. I thank our Vice Chairman, Velu Karthikeyan, for your enlightening words. And I thank our Enrollment Committee Chairman, Mr. Balu, who had been guiding as a leader for us. And he has been very strict in each and every committee in screening the applications for enrollment. I thank you, sir, for your enormous and effort which you have been continuously giving us. Screening the applications for enrollment. I thank you, sir, for your next we had our chairman of executive committee. She mentioned about the nuances of the profession. I thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening speech. And I express my thanks to Madam Nalini, former president of Women's Lawyer Association, or Madam Ambika, for your presence, and Madam Vijay Lakshmi for your presence. I thank you for your presence, one and all. Madam and Vijay Lakshmi for your presence. I would like to finally mention about the judgment which has been passed in the year 2009 by Honorable Mrs. Justice Prabhashri Devan in the year 2009. Kindly note it down and just have a look at it. National Insurance Company Limited versus minor Deepika. In a Motor Vehicles Act, compensation was filed by her grandfather who lost both her parents. Compensation normally will be taken by notional and arithmetic calculation. And in that judgment, the Lordship would have mentioned about the role which has been played by the homemaker. In the judgment, she would have highlighted the value of the homemaker. The same is now being followed by most of the lower courts in the cases of Motor Vehicles Act, and the same judgment is being endorsed and approved by the Supreme Court of India. And homemakers ought to be valued more with dignity. And in this International Women's Day and International Women Justice Day, I request all the young lawyers to kindly go through this, because all our most of the parents would be a homemaker. So this is a day we have to salute them and respect them with dignity. And finally, we have in our Vedas, it has been mentioned several centuries ago that if we deny liberty to our women, there will be no life in this world. And later, our Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, who worked and wrote many poems for the women empowerment, Pudumai Pen, New Age women. Today, when we look back at Bharati, the New Age women, he envisaged about future women. Today it has come to a reality. We have Kalpana Chawla, we have Sunita Williams, women in almost all the fields: army, pilot, police, entrepreneurs, scientists, engineers, lawyers, and we have judges across the nation, within India and across the world. And finally, I would like to congratulate all the young lawyers who got enrolled today and wish you all the best. As mentioned by our chief guest, you all will excel in this profession if you keep working hard with the 7 lamps of our profession. And one final note, I will conclude. So, உங்களுடைய பெற்றோர்கள், நண்பர்கள், உறவினர்கள் எல்லாருமே வெளியே உங்களுக்காக இந்த நாளை செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக காத்திருப்பாங்க. But at any cost, don't disturb any public. Don't be a problem created to the public. ஏன்னா இன்னைக்கு டிராஃபிக் எந்த ஒரு இன்ட்ரன்ஸும் இல்லாமல் உங்களால் அது தடைப்படாமல் இருக்கணும். ஸோ அதுக்கு நீங்கள் பொறுப்பெடுத்துக்கோங்க. I congratulate one and all and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now this is the time for national anthem. I request one and all to rise.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request all the newly enrolled advocates to be in the hall till our honorable judge and other dignitaries leave. Please be in the hall for 10 minutes.
Please be in the hall for 10 minutes.